Really? The Mako is really fond of having malfunctions and just flopping over is annoying. Hello everyone, my name is Cecilia and welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to this playthrough of Mass Effect Legendary Edition. In the last episode we dealt with some very troublesome spider creatures and we're gonna continue doing that today. So grab a snack and something to drink and let's go. Okay, we have Immersive. Though exceptionally large for a terrestrial world, Immersive is composed of water ice and with a core of various carbonaceous compounds. It has a density only half that of Earth and an atmosphere of nitrogen and carbon monoxide. The surface is composed of surprisingly pure water ice with high albedo. Grossalgen. An enigmatic rock and ice planet, Grossalgen has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. The surface is composed of frozen water and chlorine. Light metal surveyed. Scans from planet Grossalgen has revealed a large deposit of magnesium. Okay, thank you. Do we have any asteroids here? No? Oh, okay. Farthorl. A modest terrestrial planet, Farthorl has a thin atmosphere composed of carbon dioxide and chlorine. The crust is mainly composed of sulfur with deposits of nickel. The terrain is extremely rough, a patchwork of craggy, overlapping craters dating back to the formation of the solar system. Farthorl is tidally locked to the star Acheron. The day side has never been fully mapped. Okay, and lastly we have Altahe. Altahe. Yeah, Altahe. Altahe is an exceptional form of planet called a roche world. Put simply, it is one half of a pair of small and unusually dense terrestrial worlds, Altahe and Ontahe, that orbit each other so closely they effectively share a single atmosphere. This does not mean that one could fly from one to the other, but both have identical atmospheres, and dust from one often can be found on the other. Both worlds share an atmosphere of nitrogen and ethane. The surface is warm and mainly composed of silica dust and dark basaltic rocks, with extensive deposits of heavy metals and radioactives. Tidal effects from Altahe create constant heavy winds. Rex will hopefully be happy about killing rachni. Okay, what are we dealing with? So we are over here. This is where we need to go. So I guess we start here and go here and then here, here, and then back. Okay, so we do a little zigzaggy thing again. Yeah, it's going to be on the other side of this thing, isn't it? Okay. Whoop. Why do I always take like the most annoying way around? I could have just, you know, driven the other way, but no. I had to go this way and be arbitrary that way. You have successfully surveyed a large deposit of samarium. Or a large deposit. It was a deposit of samarium. Really? The Mako is really fond of having malfunctions and just flopping over is annoying. I have heard that there is supposed to be a Mako in Andromeda. Is it any better than this one? You have successfully surveyed a large deposit of gold. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Okay, and then we're doing this. This would also have been a perfect arena for a Thresher Maw to be. But I guess Thresher Maws, they don't like sharing their underground layers with rachni. I mean, I just made that up, but I assume that is the case. Okay, we got some things. And what do we have? We have a rachni hive. Okay, do we do the rachni hive first, or do we do the listening post? Maybe we should actually do the anomaly and the listening post first, and then go. And do the rachni hive. And the Mako is wriggling its butt like nobody's business. It's strutting its stuff here. Yeah, on flat surfaces, you're fine. It's on when you need to climb something or drive around something that you have a tendency to flop over. It's very frustrating, I'll have you know. What have we found here? Ah, sorry capsule. Matriarch's writings recovered. This surprisingly pristine lockbox had one of Matriarch Stillanaga's writings stored inside. How such a valuable item crashed here is uncertain. And I think this is also updated. And this is an updated asset. Like, this was probably like, you know, one of those probes that they use for everything. And with the diversification project, they've switched out a lot of these assets. Ah, and here we have the listening post. Because, of course. Okay. Yeah, I thought there was another one. Okay, now we got all of them. Nice. Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, here we have dead Marines. Very sad. Do you all have the correct weapons? Yes, you have shotguns. More dead marines. I think these have probably also been added. Yes, please murder them all. Don't think, like, this place was littered with corpses before. It adds a lot to the atmosphere for sure. You see that all the marines are dead. Oh, he looks like Captain Bailey. Yeah, I think it was like only these like burnt type corpses that were here in the original, I think. Maybe these. Uh-huh. Wonder if those were eggs or if they were just, you know... pods or something, but there's the eggs we see in like Mass Effect 3, so it would be nice if they had imported or backported that to Mass Effect 1. No idea if it does anything, blowing those things up. But I figure it can't hurt. Yeah, and here we have... she's a commander. And I believe she has Ashley's hair.
According to this, they received a supply ship just 2 days ago. The rachni must have attacked since then.
I don't like this. Suspicious supply ship. Yeah, I don't like this.
2 worlds with sudden rachni infestations. This isn't a coincidence. Tell me about that supply ship.
One moment. These things are drones, dispatched at irregular intervals from different depots to reduce the likelihood of tracking. I have it. This one came from Argos Row.
Are you sure?
That's inside an emission nebula. The Alliance doesn't have any depots inside nebulae.
Whoever programmed that freighter didn't take any pains to scrub or alter their data.
There may be more rachni. Let's go. Let's go kill something. Yeah, there may be more rachni.
Wherever it is, there's probably more rachni there. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Right.
The rachni infestation on Altahe seems to be the result of a supply drop from Argus Row. The logs downloaded from the freighter should allow you to backtrack the ship's course to its origin. Okay. We have downloaded the logs. Right, we still need to deal with that rachni hive that we saw. Wonder if it would have made more sense to do this one first and then the other ones, but no. No, I think it works. Story flow wise. Okay. There's the car. And there's the rachni hive. Let's go. Hello. No? Nothing? Okay. Maybe it was only a few of these that had... Okay. And we've dealt with all the rachni. So let's go back to the Normandy.
50,000 years ago, though now extinct, the rachni once threatened every species in Citadel space. Over 2,000 years ago, explorers foolishly opened a mass relay to a previously unknown system and encountered something never seen before or since, a species of spacefaring insects guided by a hive mind intelligence. Unfortunately, the rachni were not peaceful, and the galaxy was plunged into a series of conflicts known as the Rachni Wars. Attempts to negotiate were futile, as it was impossible to make contact with the hive queens that guided the race from beneath the surface of their toxic home world. The emergence of the Krogan ended the Rachni Wars. Bred to survive the harshest environments, the Krogan were able to strike at the queens in their lairs and reclaim conquered Council worlds. But when Krogan fleets pressed them back to their homeworld, the rachni refused to surrender, and the Krogan eradicated them from the galaxy.
At least that is the version of the story that we know, and now we know that something influenced the rachni to be this aggressive, because apparently, naturally, they're not.
In the early 2160s, the Elcor are a Citadel species native to the high-gravity world Dacuna. They are massive creatures, standing on 4 muscular legs for increased stability. Elcor move slowly, an evolved response to an environment where a fall can be lethal. This has colored their psychology, making them deliberate and conservative. Elcor's speech is ponderous and monotone. Among themselves, scent, slight movements, and sub-vocalized infrasound convey shades of meaning that make a human smile seem as subtle as a fireworks display. Since their subtlety can lead to misunderstandings with other species, the Elcor often go out of their way to clarify when they are being sarcastic, amused, or angry. Dacuna's high gravity impedes mountain formation. Most of the world consists of flat, open plains, which prehistoric Elcor wandered across in small family bands. Modern Elcor still prefer open sky, and can become restless and uncomfortable on long starship journeys.
I didn't know that about the Elcor. I love the Elcor, I think they're really fun.
Thresher moths are subterranean carnivores that spend their entire lives eating or searching for something to eat. Threshers reproduce via spores that can lie dormant for millennia, yet are robust enough to survive prolonged periods in deep space and atmospheric re-entry. As a result, thresher spores appear on many worlds, spread by previous generations of space travelers. The body of a thresher never entirely leaves the ground. Only the head and tentacles erupt from the earth to attack. In addition to physical attacks, threshers have the ability to project toxic chemicals and emit bursts of infrasound as a shockwave weapon. The Alliance first encountered threshers on the colony of Akuz in 2177. After contact was lost with the Pioneer team, Marine units were deployed to investigate. The shore parties were set upon by hungry threshers, and nearly the entire assault force was killed. Alliance forces recommend engaging threshers with vehicle-mounted heavy weapons.
Yep. 100%. We do not like thresher mobs. Except in Mass Effect 3. There's one thresher mob we do like there. Okay.
Feros, Virmire is a lush world located on the frontier of the Attican Traverse. Its vast seas and orbital position on the inner life zone have created a wide equatorial band of humid, tropical terrain. Only the political instability of the region has impeded efforts at colonization. Many times the Citadel has opened negotiations to settle Virmire with various criminal gangs and petty dictatorships in the nearby Terminus systems. All fell apart due to internal power shifts within the opposing parties. The Citadel has written off the colonization of Virmire as impossible without significant political change. The Terminus powers themselves are unlikely to ever settle Virmire. Most lack the resources to support settlement of a virgin world, finding it more expedient to steal from their neighbors than build for themselves.
Yeah, this is interesting because I've always wondered why no one had really colonized Virmire. We know that Siren has a base there, but because I mean, the world is really beautiful, and it would make sense that, you know, the other races would like have colonized it long ago, but yeah, this explains why. So that's neat.
Mass relays are feats of Prothean engineering advanced far beyond the technology of any living species. They are enormous structures scattered throughout the stars and can create corridors of virtually mass-free space, allowing instantaneous transit between locations separated by years or even centuries of travel using conventional FTL drives. Primary mass relays can propel ships thousands of light years, often from one spiral arm of the galaxy to another. However, they have fixed one-to-one connections. A primary relay connects to one other primary relay and nowhere else. Secondary relays can only propel ships across a few hundred light years. However, they are omnidirectional. A secondary relay can send a ship to any other relay within its limited range. There are many dormant primary relays whose corresponding twins have not yet been located. These are left inactive until their partner is charted, as established civilizations are unwilling to blindly open a passage that might connect them to a hostile species.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense that they wouldn't want to randomly open these. Okay, that's interesting that they say that there are quite a few dormant primary relays. I guess that, you know, leaves it open for further adventures in the galaxy. Okay, so those were the primary ones. We do have some secondary ones as well. Okay. Pinnacle Station. Technology. Pinnacle Station. Pinnacle Station is a Taurian space station that has been retrofitted as a military training facility by the Council. Invitees participate in a series of simulated combat encounters and compete against other participants. Yeah. It was not fun. I tried it out, as I said in a previous video, and it was not fun. I can do the, you know, like the challenges, and I wanted to test it out and everything, but the fact that I have to beat someone's time and it's all time-based, no. That was not fun. Maybe you guys really enjoy it, and if you have any tips or tricks for me, that would be great. But as it stands right now, I will not be doing that as a video. Sorry, that would just be very frustrating for me. Council races. Salarians Special Tasks Group. Salarian intelligence field agents are grouped into an organization called the Special Tasks Group, STG. STG operators work in independent cells, performing dangerous missions such as counterterrorism, infiltration, reconnaissance, assassination, and sabotage. The STG is a proactive organization, puncturing worrisome trends before they become movements. At any time, a dozen groups are operating covertly within the lawless Terminus systems, sowing dissent among the various factions. Civilian analysts also note how troublesome hinge point individuals in Terminus frequently meet unexpected deaths. STG operators are feared throughout the galaxy for their clear-eyed, remorseless practicality. They are willing to do whatever it takes to achieve their mission, even if it kills civilians or results in the team's own destruction. In many ways, they are akin to the Council Spectres. Recently, a number of STG cells have been redeployed from Solarian Union. It is assumed they are in the Terminus and Attican Traverse, investigating reports of Geth activity beyond the Perseus Veil. Yeah. It's interesting learning more about the STG. I mean, we meet Morden in Mass Effect 2, so we get some information from him, but we also, I think we read in like a previous Codex entry that the STG were basically the basis for the Spectres, and this kind of confirms that, the fact that they're, you know, remorseless and they can, as long as they achieve, you know, their goal, basically the ends justify the means, right? So that's very interesting. And I guess also being Salarians that live very, very short lives, that might play into it as well, because they don't have as much time. They don't have time for extended diplomacy or niceties, I suppose. Systems Alliance military ranks. The Alliance uses a modified version of the ranking system that has been used for hundreds of years. Soldiers are classified into rank and file enlisted personnel, experienced non-commissioned officers, NCOs, and specially trained officers. The divide between naval personnel and ground forces, Marines, is small. Ground units are a specialized branch of the fleet, just as fighter squadrons are. This unity of command is imposed by the futility of fighting without control of orbit. Without the Navy, or any army is pointless. The Marines, as a matter of pride, maintain some of their traditional rank titles. For example, Marines have privates and corporals instead of servicemen. In ascending order of responsibility, the ranks of the Alliance are: enlisted, servicemen 3rd class, or private 2nd class, servicemen 2nd class, privates 1st class, and servicemen 1st class, corporal. So, serviceman Batia, the woman who served with Ashley, I wonder which class she was. I'm not sure if they said. Anyway, NCO, Service Chief, Gunnery Chief, Operations Chief. Okay, so that's Gunnery Chief. That's Ashley Williams. And then you have officers: 2nd Lieutenant, 1st Lieutenant, Staff Lieutenant, Lieutenant Commander, and that is what Shepard is right now. And then we have Staff Commander, Captain / Major, Rear Admiral / General, and then we have Admiral, and then we have Fleet Admiral. Okay, cool. And lastly we have... weapons: disruptor torpedoes. Disruptor torpedoes are powered projectiles with warheads that create random and unstable mass effect fields when triggered. These fields warp space-time in a localized area. The rapid asymmetrical mass changes cause the target to rip itself apart. In flight, torpedoes use a mass-increasing field, making them too massive for enemy kinetic barriers to repulse. This extra mass gives torpedoes very sluggish acceleration, making them easy prey for defensive Guardian weapons. So, torpedoes have to be launched at very close range. Torpedoes are the main anti-ship weapon used by fighters. They are launched from point-blank range in ripple-fire waves reminiscent of the ancient Calliope rocket artillery. Or Calliope. Yeah, Calliope. Calliope rocket artillery launches, thus their popular nickname Callies. By saturating defensive Guardian systems with multiple targets, at least a few will get through. Okay, and that is where we're going to be leaving off for today. In the next episode, we are going to be wrapping up this particular quest line by heading to the last point in this quest. At least I think it is the last point, or last world for this quest line. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. And if you've enjoyed this video, then please consider giving it a like and leave a comment down below. And if you would like to continue follow along on Nora Shepard's journey, then please consider subscribing. I will see you all in my next video. Bye!